Haley tried to eat it the first time.
Hey.
Don't do that.
Is this close enough?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can I get a picture of you guys just like looking over here and smiling real quick before you start? Please, it's like mom.
First day of school.
Yeah. Cute. Okay. Now I will depart from you. Have fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Starting at time.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Yeah. So, well, it's usually we get about 5 minutes of just rando talk, and then he just intros us. But we're rolling. Okay.
All right. Well, welcome you guys. You're not supposed to look at the camera, right?
Well, you can look at that one if you want.
More Than a Van, episode 11. 12?
Yeah, we film ahead. You won't
Episode 12.
You won't see yourself for a week
Oh, okay.
or two.
I know. I told my mom about this. She's like super excited. She said, "How can I watch?" and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty straightforward, man. I know you got the sheet. So I'll give a quick intro to you. When I say quick, I mean Mr. Rob Nitz, family on the board.
Yeah.
Why don't you now give a little bit of your own history for the people?
So we've owned a van for going on 3 years now, and when we got the van, I'd say there's only a handful of things that helped me come out of like a very, very dark place. I was in the Navy, and I could count on my hand what pulled me out of that, and one of them was the van.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that and just being able to reconnect with my family was the biggest thing. So, yeah, I'm down here helping to learn how to detail vans.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, because I just wanted to come hang out and do a couple shows this summer. So,
Sweet.
yeah, learning the standard
Yeah.
of Vandoit,
Yeah.
making sure I can make a van look clean and presentable.
Good. Yeah. Well, we love having you. We love having all of our owners. It's exciting whenever you guys come into house. And then again, it's that community piece.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Like I love it when you actually build a bond, not just with your salesperson, but you actually build a bond with the team. All of them. And so that's part I like seeing most. So,
I got to do team building yesterday.
Yeah.
With everyone.
Good.
But yeah, just like you said, seeing the team, even Allison was on a computer, and I got excited to wave to her during FaceTime. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
you do get to know everyone who works here. I mean, Austin, we've known him the longest for 2 years.
Yeah. You guys went to a Vox together, right?
Yeah, Torch Lake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the COVID era of the Voxes.
Yep.
So
It was.
But we are now rolling into Vox Bentonville this year will be, what number will
11.
that be? Will that be 11?
Yep.
Sweet. We should.
In the third Bentonville.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. Be a lot of good times. So I actually think we're doing a CrossFit class.
Yeah, with Chris Spiegel.
Spieler.
Chris Spieler.
Yep.
Holy cow. How long's he owned a van for?
So he would go back. Actually, Chris Spieler he helped us with the very first do model ever.
Okay.
And he took the very first do model ever.
Nice.
That was way back in our first facility. Gosh, that was back in 2017 or 18. Yeah, it was way back. And so yeah, he's actually been owner a few times now with different units, and so just went along with us, kind of like yourselves.
Cool.
So yeah, he'll be helping with the class.
Very cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I told Rachel, and her and I just totally geeked out. Yeah, I can't believe I just messed up his last name too.
It's all good.
He's an OG in the
Well,
space.
when you worked out last night, you worked out on Spieler Bar.
Yep, I did see that.
Yeah, so that's Chris's.
We have one of those at our gym. It's super nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thanks to Chris.
All right,
Chris.
Sorry, Haley. I'll get to these questions. So these questions are like frequently asked questions that we've all noticed popping up in Facebook and questions you guys get asked. So I'll start. Can the drawbridge bed be retrofitted to go in the live and do models?
Can it be retrofitted for live and do? The drawbridge, it is a no on the do model, mainly because of the support structure that you have to have for the both sides.
Okay.
So in the move model, we designed it very specifically on how it hinges and how it's structured. It allows you to actually be able to put full weight on one side or the other, and that's because of the actual foundation of the build.
Okay.
On a live model, by the time we would what we would have to do to the live model to allow again, and what it is it's when you have the power box, like the one in front of us here, you're actually hinging the drawbridge actually off the top back a little bit, so it hinges over and it cantilevers out. And you have to have the box to compensate how much that cantilever weight is going to cost you. So this is not being, really true to numbers or not, but if you put 100 pounds on the edge of that drawbridge bed leaf for just one side, the pressure that it's actually putting, the actual load, it's probably, if I had to assume, 100 pounds probably equates to probably 350 or 400 pounds on the cantilever weight difference. So to make it work, we've actually built that into the entire foundation of the build.
Okay.
To really allow the strength. And so what I would say is the live, does it have boxes on both sides? Yes, it does. But in a live, your bed with the 4 posts, that's actually completing your structure. And so basically you have gear slide and your weldment underneath is what we call it. But basically your underside gear slide structure, that's why you can't pull gear slide out of a live either, because that frame is actually helping tie it all together.
Okay.
So it all works in tandem with one another. You remove one part, and it still functions, it still works, but the real strength is not there anymore.
Okay.
You remove that bed that connects side to side, and you try to go drawbridges, the second you sit on either side, that whole side is going to collapse.
Wow.
And so is a live, from a viewer perspective, capable of putting platforms like a drawbridge? Yes. Is the live designed to actually handle that cantilever weight? No. And by the time we would retrofit a live, you're now in a move.
Right. So Kurt lucked out then.
Kurt lucked out.
Sweet.
Oh boy, Kurt. Oh, Kurtie. We'll get to the next question.
Okay. What options are available for putting kitchen module? Is this close enough, Austin?
You're funny, close.
Okay.
You're probably clipping it a little bit. We're only like feet away. You don't have to yell.
Oh, that's my inside voice.
It's okay. I kept it down a little bit.
So what
On
options are
purpose, because
available?
you knew he'd yell. Hey, look, we know you. We know you so well. You stole Ian's shoes again.
Yep.
Thanks, Ian.
Okay, what options are available for putting the kitchen modules other than the typical location behind the driver's seat? And this says maybe on the passenger side.
So we can probably do a little flash up on the screen, Austin. But we've done setups in the slider door. So obviously the slider door is way more open space than what you actually need. Like, you don't need that much space to walk through, right?
Definitely.
So a lot of times in your typical, what I would say your typical camper van, you're always seeing like the galley kitchen in the doorway.
Yep.
Now, one note about that is because on passenger vans, one difference between passenger and cargos, because of the airbags in the passenger, that doorway space is actually lowered. So, like, if you go back and look at your van, you'll notice on the door frame there's a black trim piece that brings, because your headliner's there. That's actually gone because that's just where your airbag is. So on a cargo, that's gone.
Yeah.
So for passengers for years, putting a galley kitchen in the slider door, everyone said, hey, I want to be able to look outside while I run my sink and I cook. It's like, well, in a passenger van, that line of sight's not there because your headliner's down. In a cargo, your door's quite a bit taller. I want to say it's about a 6-inch difference, which is a lot. And so
That is a lot.
So putting the galley in that space, absolutely. I would say it's the Well, it's exactly why we did the entry door shower, because that space is really the hardest space to use because it's your entry in and out.
Right.
So if you can dual purpose it, great. So yes, putting modules over in the backhand side of your slider door is huge, because it takes up that space that you're never going to use.
Right.
I mean, the only part of it is with an asterisk is that's where your jump seat goes. So it's really nice to turn the passenger seat around. We do now offer the driver swivel.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously now instead of maybe going, passenger seat, jump seat, you go driver seat, passenger seat.
Right.
To have that duo.
Yeah.
And so now for you guys traveling, it'd be like the three of you. So it'd kind of be trying to figure out, would a jump seat still be the thing that you would want?
Mm-hmm.
But when we see like dual people traveling or even single people traveling, usually they're loading that side.
Right.
I will say when we only had 2 car seats in our van, now we have 3, and come fall we'll have 4. So we'll have to figure that one out.
Congrats.
Thanks, man. We'll have to figure that whole thing out. But whenever it was 2, we actually usually put our toilet pull out where the jump seat goes, and it would pull out into the doorway.
Right.
So it'd pull straight.
Yeah, with a view.
Exactly.
Toilet with a view.
There you go, buddy. Nick still wants to, and I know he'll do it eventually. He wants to put the toilet on the gear slide, pull the gear slide out, and go to the bathroom over the peak of a mountain.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So, I know he'll do it. He's on trip right now. It's cold where he's at, so maybe he hasn't.
That's like a potato chip, or the place people go hiking. I've seen it. They call it like paper chip or potato chip, something, where you walk out on the ledge, and that's what that would be like.
There you go, man.
It'd be like Vandoit's potato chip hike.
But
that actually
Business
leads
time.
into a great question. With seating, will Vandoit ever consider seating options that are not Ford factory? And then it says specifically Smart Floor or L-Track.
Okay. So also referencing like the seats we're sitting in.
Yeah.
So these are CVC, I believe is the brand. Don't quote me on that one, but they're CVC. We'll pop the link up to them. But what we're starting to do, especially on the commercial side, is these bigger captions chairs are a necessity. Basically, they're kind of required. And like, well, you saw one of the therapy units yesterday. I mean,
beautiful.
these things are in there.
Yeah.
And so these are FMVSS certified. That's our biggest thing is we stick with Ford factory seating because of the safety regulations and basically everything we have to go by because of our certifications. With Ford, with QVM, that's why we leave the airbags. We don't touch them. Full disclosure, can you legally put an FMVSS approved, which the seats we're sitting in are, can you put those in a cargo van? The answer is yes. Because of our certifications, it is one of those things where it really starts to boil down to true passenger safety at that point. And for us, we just won't give on it. And so putting passenger seats in a van that has the airbags, that is, it's just that extra layer. I mean, to that point, airbags are not a requirement for passenger safety in the rear, but it is a nice added benefit, in the case of the worst case.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, we currently do. Here's where I will tell you the biggest reason we try to stay away from it is because of our modularity, our versatility in what we do. We have, we do have an owner where it was basically a demand for them. It was also a partnership. It was a partnership and something a long time ago, but we did put larger seats in.
Okay.
And I will tell you, I had a dozen conversations with him about, do you realize the space that these seats take? I mean, we all complain about, and probably that's why the question is asked, is we know how tight the Ford factory seats are. They're also heavy, they're bulky, and they don't give you a ton of legroom. Totally get it. But there's that level of, give and take. And so if you want to put 8 passenger seats in, which is really the big benefit to our builds, you can't go to a bigger seat like this because you're just going to fill the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And so for us, it does boil down to it's really kind of that argument of space and understanding that level of give and take. To directly answer your question, Rob, we already do them. So we already do these seats. Okay. So I'm not going to say no to it. What I am going to say is that right now it will not be a build sheet item.
Right.
It is one of those things where you really got to fully like ask yourself, do you want to give that much space up for a chair like this? Because that's what you're doing.
Right.
You are just eating up a ton of real estate.
Right.
And that's what I would say is we will, and we do it for commercial clients, but we really ask a long list of questions before we really say, okay, this makes sense for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the long but short answer, which is if you really feel the necessity is there, we'll talk about it.
Right.
We will not do L-track. We will not do a different floor. We're not going to do a smart floor system.
Okay.
These seats, like we're sitting in, don't require that. These seats also do allow us to do like a lock-in Ford factory location. So you can go right in the factory Ford rails with a plush seat like this.
Okay.
Again, where you could probably fit 2 seats on a bench, you can fit one of these. It's just really understanding logistics.
Yeah.
So Austin also gave us the 5-minute mark.
Oh, man, I was about to how we doing on time, Austin?
3 minutes, man.
All right. So does Vandoit have storage options for items that are not on the ceiling or in the cabinets close to the ceiling? And it says, like, these storage bags behind you.
So, like, the live and do's, we now do, like, bungee. So, in the crossbars across, we run bungee between them. Basically allows you to pull the bungee down and put things up above. We've toyed with the idea, obviously now with the Move model. You know, the lives and do's have the cabinets.
Yeah.
The Move model has the overhead built in. So much of it, because of height in the vehicles, you know, the bungees allow you, and we're working on the Move model, how to have that same bungee effect, because you can take the bungee down in certain areas and you can pull it and you can shove so much stuff up behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. It's very simple. And so also whenever you don't have anything up there, it's just tight against the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It also doesn't really mess with your can lighting and other things. But like if you see, like, I mean, we have rail. So something really, like with the previous episodes, during COVID, we really weren't able to innovate. We basically just had to figure out how to build the units for the people who were waiting for them.
Mm-hmm.
With supply chain issues, we're finally coming out of that. It's our real goal to get all the new Move models really locked in the production line, get them basically ready to where there's no more engineering time for them. Once we get through that, absolutely the accessories come to life. Things like, you know, you've got your fish and pull holders. You know, you got all your different ways to, like, your longer items. Sup boards. It's a perfect place to put it, right?
Yeah.
So the track is there. We do love, like, the bungee ratchet straps. I will say, if you don't have them, you need to get them.
They're amazing.
They are everything.
Yeah.
They are gold. They allow you to anchor so much stuff. And so when it comes to fixed things, we do molly panels. We do some other different type items. A lot of that really is in the works now that we can really allow ourselves to focus on it with finally getting the Move launched. But the functionality of eyelets, bungee, those type things, they're still true to what we do. And with a little bit of thinking through it, you can really see how you can best utilize the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like using those options that you wouldn't really think about to really use it. I will just say, again, it's all about give and take. How much do you want to put above you because of headroom space? You know, everyone loves the high roof because they can stand.
Yeah.
How much do you really want to stack above you?
Right.
So,
and I do have to say that wall, I saw a picture of it, the wall that, like, covers the... Who had the commercial van at the air show?
Uh-huh.
He has his dog. He had that whole thing, and in the picture, I was like, that looks kind of bad. But then you see it, and then your mind starts going with all the options. Like, I could take room from there, from above my head, and stick it in there, and
yeah. So the fabric molly.
Yeah.
So it's what we have on the build sheet. It's the cab divider.
Yeah.
Basically, we have a pocket and a molly option, and basically it's just fabric molly, and you clip whatever you want into that thing. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So sweet.
I think that's it.
Is that it? Well, Rob, appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can we hug?
Awesome. You want to hug? Okay,
Yeah.
we can hug.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.